Hey everybody, ronarray here, and during this league I've been testing different farming mechanics, but one of the most stable ones that I used for myself to farm most of my currency being ritual farming. And in this video I want to showcase how the proper ritual farming should look. Generally, you can just take some basic tablets, roll some omen chances, reroll in favors for reduced tribute, and that will be enough. But in this video I'm going to showcase a little more sophisticated setup, which will require 3 or even 4 towers perfectly, which we can use to generate as much profit as possible, together with a unique tablet and some more expensive tablets too, that you can use to get more profit as well. If you don't have some of those tablets or you don't want to invest too much, you can just drop them and still run same setup, but with a little less amount of tablets. It's still going to work properly. Let's go. And first off, let me showcase the setup with towers that I received. I currently have 4 towers right here, and 2 of them are already cleared, and 2 more I will clear right after I will apply the tablets. It's going to give me a chance to have at least those maps, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 maps in general, to have buffs from all 4, which is in my opinion pretty nice. We're also going to have much more buffs from those 2 down here, even if we will be unable to reach it with up towers. And on top of it, I think we're going to utilize like more expensive tablets, will go to particular tower, and less expensive will probably go far, somehow there, I think. So 4 towers right like that is pretty rare, but usually you're not really receiving a lot of maps with additional buffs. And the biggest issue right here is that we have a lot of water, but I think it's very natural for atlases those days. And we're going to utilize all 4 towers like that to maximize our profit from breach. I'm going to farm everything in the vicinity, and I will hope that out of all the maps I will at least receive some currency back. Now let's talk about the tablets that we are going to use. For all 4 towers we will have 4 sets like that, and let's start with the most expensive ones. We are going to use a unique tablet, which is Freedom of Faith Ritual Precursor tablet. It gives us can reroll favors at ritual altars in the map twice as many times. It's usually around 1 divine approximately, but I have a very good roll here. Instead of 15% increased tribute, we will only receive 10% increased tribute. And I think it's going to be absolutely alright. Talking about the rest, we're going to get as many bonuses as possible, but important part is that we can get ritual altars in your maps, allow rerolling favors and additional time. And we're going to use 2 tablets like that. Both of them are approximately 2 divines, so those are pretty expensive, and this is the main part of the currency that we are paying. On top of it, we are going to utilize the tablets, which will have increased chance to be omens, ritual favors, and we're going to use at least 3 bonuses like that. We're also going to use rerolling favors at ritual altars in maps, cost 12% reduced tribute tablets. I currently think that we will have at least around 4 to 5 tablets like that, and 4 tablets with chances for omens. I think we're also going to utilize at least 1 thingy with different favors at ritual cost reduced tribute, and we're going to make sure that we will have at least 1 like that, together with probably magic monsters. Another important part is that when you are rolling tablets, the tablets should have second bonus, which is pretty good too. So good bonuses would be increase rare monsters in your maps. That's good, more rare monsters, more monsters in the ritual. It also could be increase pack size in your maps. I think pack size is absolutely amazing for the ritual right now, and the bonus is going to be very high. We also have increase rare monsters again, and quantity and rarity is playing less role, but if you can have it, that's alright. On very expensive tablets, we can probably have like gold fountain maps and something useless like that. Just because it will be much more expensive, like 1 more divine, if you're going to roll like a pack size there. And as the last part, we can also roll increased magic monsters in your maps. It's going to help us to make sure that we have enough monsters in the ritual to get as much tribute as possible. And now let's talk about the Atlas that we currently have. And I think Atlas for Something like that is very, very simple. We're going to take all pack size nodes everywhere, right there and right there. Also, we are going to take magic pack size together with magic monsters amount and take pack size right here. I think investing into unstable energies is pretty much worth it if you think you're not going to die, so I'm probably going to drop one explicit and just take unstable energies for that experiment. We also don't really need the rarity that much, so I would probably replace 2 points for rarity and take all explicit modifiers bonus literally everywhere. Another important part is the ritual tree. I currently think that for ritual tree we will need Tempest offers, because rerolling favors at ritual altars in your maps cost 25% reduced tribute is very, very good. And ominous portents is pretty nice too, because we will have increased chance to be omens. Together with spreading darkness, your map with ritual altars always have 4 ritual altars. And the last one could vary. I think using here approaches would be alright. But right now Audience with the King is kinda not expensive, and I'm not really over-focusing on it. So instead, I think going for Promise Devotion could be a better idea right now. And I would probably just go for it, because that way we will have additional bonuses, like for different favors and ritual altars in your maps cost 50% reduced tribute. And I think it's pretty nice. If I will feel like we don't really need to defer that often, I would probably drop it and replace it for He approaches again. And another important part of the whole atlas is the nodes for tablet effect. It's going to improve our tablets significantly. We can have like 8% here and 8% here. So both of those together will provide a pretty nice bonuses. It's around 32% of increased effect of precursor tablets. So we will multiply our tablets and it's going to work pretty good. And the last part, we're also going to have a Remnants of Power, 20% chance for double effect of precursor tablets on the maps. I'm not really expecting that it's going to proc that often, but well, at least it's going to proc sometimes. Now, let's talk about the maps, which we are going to use. I think something like that, Blasted Order Waystone, is just absolutely perfect for what we need. We have increased number of rare monsters, increased magic monsters, together with almost 40% increased pack size, which is absolutely amazing and I think absolutely worth it. Maps like that, with like magic monsters, magic pack size, maybe normal pack size, is pretty much what we need to aim for, so that one is very good right here too. 34 and a lot of rares together with quantity and rarity a little. So pack size percentage is absolutely necessary right now for the loot, and I definitely recommend to go for it. And the last part of the setup is pretty much what kind of distilled emotions we are going to use. Right now, based on what I can see, we only have a few options. First off, we can run Distilled Paranoia. It will give 45% increased number of rare monsters. It's nice, but I don't think it's too important right now. Instead, I think the best option would be to run 24% increased pack size. I think it can make pack size so big that our rituals will be just full with loot. And that's probably the best setup right there. So sometimes you're going to receive something very basic like Expedition Tablet right here, for example. You can just defer it and it will be much easier for you to buy it. And good rares are also an option. So for example, I have a pretty decent Quiver right here, so you can just buy them or defer them again as well in that case. So most of the time, your goal is to find expensive omens such as Omen of Wheatland, for example. That way you will be able to defer them almost immediately, and when rerolling, you will be able to just keep deferring them, because cost of defer right now is pretty low with such setup. That way you can just keep rerolling and keep deferring the omens that you found, up until at some moment you will be able to just buy it out. There's a big chance that you're also going to receive additional omens in the process, but it's not too important and you just need to focus on the ones that you currently want to get. In the process, you're also going to receive a lot of Audience with the Kings just from the ritual itself. Those are not really too expensive, about 41-42 exalted approximately, but I still would recommend to at least defer them and take them in, because I think it's worth it and it's just like a free currency which will help you out to get a little more profit here and there. So something like that could be used as a final example of your map. When you have increased number of rare monsters, some pack size, together with ritual favors and area have 91% increased chance to be omens, rerolling favors at ritual altars and array cost 32,715 increased tribute. That number here is just bugged, but in the map itself we are going to have reduced tribute for rerolling, and can reroll favors at ritual altars in your maps twice as many times. With such setup you will have a lot of rerolls. You will also have cool bonuses for differing and rerolling itself. So approximately something like that could be used right now as an example of a pretty nice buffed map. And that's how the same buff should look in the map itself. Here we will have increased number of rare monsters, magic monsters, together with bonuses for rerolling favors, can reroll favors twice as many times, differing favors bonuses, and additional rerolling favors times as well. All of that together will give us a lot of rerolls and a lot of chances to defer stuff too. And pack size together with magic monsters and rare monsters are going to provide as much tribute as possible for rituals themselves. Another question is, what if you have less currency or less taverns? Generally, I recommend to focus on at least one unique tablet for rerolls, because I think it's worth the divine, especially if you're going to farm a lot of rituals, and the rest of the tablets should give you rerolling favors at ritual altars in your map, cost reduced tribute. For the rest of it, you can just take chances for omens, and that's pretty much it. So about 3 to 5 tablets with rerolls, a unique tablet, and the rest goes just for omens. On a budget, something like that probably would be the best idea. If you can add more expensive tablets for more rerolls, it would be nice, but it would be a big gamble, because those are pretty expensive, and using tablets for 2 divines and more could be a very big risk. However, Omen of Whitland is your main way to make currency right here, and it currently costs like almost 3.5 divines, and it's probably going to pay for a lot of tablets, even if you're going to roll only like a few of those. In big setup of maps, if you roll like 3 or 4 omens, it's going to be much better, but even 2 are going to pay for the whole setup and also will end up in profit. Another important point to mention is that the whole approach with rituals is a little random, so to make sure that you're making currency with it, you will need to run at least a few setups in the same fashion, because if you will run only one, there's a big chance that you will get unlucky or very lucky on the other hand. Sometimes I'm receiving only like 1 omen through the whole run, and sometimes I'm receiving like 4 or even 5. So the numbers could be very unstable, please keep that in mind. So this league, ritual been a very good way to farm currency, and if you will follow at least some part of this quick guide, I'm sure that you're going to make some profit from it as well. Just make sure that you're farming enough of maps and always have at least buffs from 3 towers with the proper tablets in there. And not over-investing too. Because if you invest too much, there will be a chance that you're going to lose currency, because if you'll buy like 6 tablets just for rerolls, it could be a little just too much, and you will not get enough omens to get all that currency back. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you will drop some good omens in rituals. Ronarray out.